So what's going on, people? This is part two of the interview. I had to add more minutes. I didn't know with this whole streaming thing to stream to multiple platforms. It was a minute thing, and I had to handle that. But we're back, and it ended right off in the middle of what we're going to do anyway. So we're about to put Conductor Vice Chair Chris Drummond on the phone. How you doing, bro?
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Everything is good, man. You know, we talking about, in part one of this interview before it was shut off, we was talking about, police. We didn't get too deep, as far as policing in the community, the ideology of police, policing in transit and the subways and things like that, them hiding out in locker rooms while we out on the road getting assaulted, they not deterring crime and things of that nature. We talking about the things that the people don't want to talk about. And when I say the people, I talk about, the NYPD, because they probably feel that we snitching on them. But, we just want protection at the end of the day. We need them out there doing their job so we can efficiently do ours.
Well, I want them in my community. I want them where I work at. I want them around the churches. I want to be safe, and I want everyone else to be safe. I just don't understand how our safety is not a priority. I mean, they have a job to do to protect their citizenry, and they're not doing that. When I was, I don't know. I think what they've done is turn the MTA and the subway stations and the terminals. They look at it like it's a hood, and in the hood, they don't respond in the hood. They almost make comedians and joked about it. It's been written about. There's done studies about
at the end of
the
the
difference
day
between the response time from NYPD and EMTs in our neighborhoods and affluent neighborhoods. And, and is a disparity there. So I think they have applied that same mindset and ideology to us at transit. Conductors, train operators, and, all the MTA personnel. Because they are not, today, there was a conductor spit on. A few days ago, there was a conductor who they threw, thank God it wasn't acid or urine or some crazy, threw a liquid into a conductor's face. It was in the news the other day, conductor got punched. I mean, I think in the 36-hour span, like 3 or 4 conductors had got assaulted. I get notifications every day about conductors being assaulted. And assaulted at stations where there should be a police presence. And the crazy thing is, ironically, there is a police presence. They upstairs by the station agent. Are they hiding, trying to catch someone, a 12-year-old, jumping over the turnstiles? Their priority, which is the math is backwards.
Yeah.
Say they catch 10 people fare evaders. What's that? $27.50, as opposed to someone who gets injured on duty, and then transit is down a conductor who should be paid and is being paid, and then they got to find a replacement for that conductor, and it turns the whole system, or the train operator, it turns the whole system on his ear, and nobody wants to go out. They're entitled to go, and they should go out, and they should be compensated and taken care of and get the help that they need, be it medical help or psychological help. But no one wants to go through that.
That's correct.
Nobody wants to go through that. They just want to come to work and know that they're safe. And if they need help, help is forthcoming, and we're not getting that. And the NYPD, obviously, our safety, like I said, is not a priority. But they utilize our facility. They come have lunch. They come try to key with the membership. They watch TV, whatever. They utilize our facility, but they don't feel that they have an obligation to protect MTA personnel. Now, and that's a problem.
Now, could we say the culture? Because we know that there's individuals that do want to protect us, but would you say the overall culture is is an act? Is they
Oh,
don't really want to protect us?
oh no, it is a culture. It's like people don't understand. They keep trying to get more black cops. They in society. Let's go society. They say we need more black cops, cops of color. It has nothing to do with that. You can get all the black cops. You can make the police force predominantly black. It wouldn't make a difference if you buy into the culture, and the culture is the treat blacks, Latinos less than human, or poor white folks less than human. The culture is the abuse and ignore our community. The culture is the stereotype and arbitrarily, that stop and frisk mentality, to be selective in who they arrest and who they search and who they detain. So yes, it's a culture. That's what I'm saying. That same mindset that they would use towards the working class community or housing in the housing project is the same mentality that they bring to transit. There's no question about it. That 2018, you remember, I went out, I was abused. I called for help. I had an abusive customer, belligerent, cursing at me, calling me all type of names, N-words and what have you. So I signaled around. Cops got known. The cops told me, and this is word for word. They said, these are two black cops. They said, bruh, you get paid. You're a civil servant. You get paid to take the abuse.
Wow.
So I'm starting to think that from the highest echelons of transit, fight for the side, I might say, and Greenblatt side, but there's a mindset and a stream of consciousness at transit that think that this is all part of our job. That part of our job, and it comes with our paycheck, that we could be assaulted, abused, and spat on, and you get a check for that. I'm starting to believe that's what's going on here. And they don't listen. We go to Fifth Avenue, we go through all Times Square, we go through our stations. If, like I told you, if we go to Subways and Subways call for help, all they gotta do is throw a soda at the cashier or something, or kick a chair. The police are responding. Why they're not responding for us? And now, a few months ago, there was a conductor that was assaulted, and the guy, the person that assaulted her, stayed there.
Wow.
For 3-4 minutes, 5 minutes. He didn't run. He stood there. Because everyone knows the worst kept secret that the police are not coming. And NYC, and this is another thing, bro. And I apologize for being redundant. They're there already. Like you said, they there. They upstairs. They're here. We down. Our train is coming through, and we at the station, pulling the station, and we get assaulted. They're upstairs, doing what they're doing as is. They just there congregate. And trying, a priority in the math is voodoo math. You trying to catch a few fair beaters, and some people who legitimately don't have the money to get on the train. They're not going to these neighborhoods, Fifth Avenue. They're not going to Park Slope, Williamsburg. They're not coming to affluent, predominantly white neighborhoods and trying to catch fair beaters. It's not happening. They're not doing it.
Yeah.
That's a fact. And cops are taking care of the society. They're on the pedestal, and they should be on the pedestal. Like you said, cops are super good. Cops are superheroes, are good cops. If they do what they took a vow to do, and do what they are paid to do, there's nothing like a cop. NYPD, a police officer, nothing like, but they're not doing that. They're remiss in their duties. And I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here because, brother, I said this before, either someone's going to die.
Yeah. And
either someone's going to
get
killed.
Go. This is Vice Chair Conductor Drummond on the phone of TWU Local 100 talking about police in the subways, just to be clear.
So either someone's going to, we have a right as human beings to go home to our family. So what's going to happen? Conductor is going to, maybe in the act of protecting, because that we're supposed to protect our customers, really at all costs. Basically, if you break it down, we're supposed to protect our customers. So in the act of protecting the customer or ourselves, one of our brothers and sisters is tragically murdered or trying to protect themselves from getting murdered. They happen to have to hurt someone, maybe fatally, and then they locked up. And all this could be avoided if the NYPD and transit in coordination with NYPD provide police protections, not only for us and for their ridership. And they're not doing it. That's a fact, like you said. They're not doing it.
Now, have you ever seen? I want to play this video. I'm gonna play a video. Are you looking at your phone right now?
Yeah, I'm giving a go to my laptop and give me a minute.
Yeah, so I'm gonna play a video, and when I play this video, I want you to let me know what comes to your mind when you see this video. Now, for all you guys that's watching, please share out the video. This is part 2. Once again, we got Conductor Vice Chair Chris Drummond. He responds to a lot of the assaults on transit workers. So he's speaking from experience when it comes to police presence, their reaction to transit workers getting assaulted, and the seriousness of how they take crimes against us as a culture. We're not talking about individuals, because we know good cops that really care about transit workers, but the culture overall does not care about protecting transit workers. That's my opinion.
Hold on, bro. I'm still trying to get this up on the screen. Hold on a minute. Give me 30 seconds.
Yeah, no problem. So, like I said in the first part of this program, this is part 2. This is part 2 of the video. You know, we are concerned.
All right, I got it.
All right, we concerned about the police presence in the subways because enough isn't being done. It pains us to see police officers hanging out in the crew rooms. You know, it's nothing wrong with, you know, popping in, getting familiar with the crews, but we talking about, you know, them knocked out, sleeping, them paying attention on their phones while we out there on the road getting our butts kicked. If there wasn't no crime or no transit workers, you guys could sleep all day, but that's far from the truth. We are getting assaulted. People aren't getting caught. The police is taking a sweet time responding to these incidences. And you have, like Drummond said earlier, you have crimes happening in subways where there shouldn't even be no crime because the police should be there to deter them. Nobody should be able to get assaulted at Coney Island Stillwell. No how, no way. It's 4 different platforms. It's a police station downstairs. A couple of months ago, a man punched a train operator in the face, gave her a black eye, and walked out the station without being seen, without being caught, without being chased by an NYPD officer because they wasn't in sight. Where are all these officers? All right, Drummond, I'm going to play this video, and I want you to let me know. And I want you guys out there watching to let me know what comes to your mind when you see this video. I played the video a couple of times. What comes to your mind when you watch that video?
A couple of, first of all, brother, it's a disturbing video. It's a disturbing video. But what comes is I get a lot of feelings about that. It's excessive. There's an overreaction. Is the way that I doubt very serious that they would have reacted that way if this station was on the Upper West Side, in the East Village, and Forest Hills. Um, Other enclaves where there's affluence and a minority of Latinos and blacks. And the other thing I had is where's this police presence when we need them? How many times have we been assaulted and nothing? Calling control. Matter of fact, I don't know if control was a dead spot. They just don't pick up. I don't know what's happening. But how many times we could have used that type of response? I'm talking about response to, stomping out some pervert or some disgusting individual and has spit on us, spat on us, or assaulted one of our brothers and sisters. Yeah, that's I would like to see that reaction for people who assault us. But it just shows there's a disparity here. There's a dismissiveness of our community. And I don't know if it's classism, racism, or outright hatred. I don't know. But it's a very disturbing video. And again, if you want to just look at it in a whole different way, take all the disturbing imagery out of it, where's the cops when we need them?
So
where are they?
Now you see that one cop, right? He basically incited a riot. You have a lot of cops like that. They make things more worse than what it needs to be. So this one cop, he went out of control. He started punching people in the face and things like that. Now, I'm quite sure there was some good cops in the midst of all that commotion. Why didn't one of those good cops stop him?
Well, I don't want to contradict what you're saying, and you're right, but why isn't our brothers and sisters, it's the same mentality, and it's a dangerous mentality, that right is right, and everybody should stand up for right, and even one of our brothers and sisters, they see somebody being abused by management, and I don't want to mix, convolute this conversation, but at the end of the day, right is right. And just like we should step up for our brothers and sisters, they should step up and do the right thing. Right is, and we all should do the right thing. And I don't know. I've been trying to figure out that since I was a boy. When I was young, a friend of mine got murdered, Clifford Glover, young and Google, 1973. One of my good friends, I was like 9 years old. He got murdered by a cop. I don't know. Nobody stepped up and said, it was a boy. It was a boy. Nobody stepped in and said that was wrong. This is an injustice. And like you said, I understand Pat Lynch as a union leader. So, as a union leader, he's a great union man. But right is right. The rank and file and the people on the boots on the ground, you can't sit there and allow them to beat up a baby. Mm-hmm. Grown men beating up teenagers. And no matter how rowdy they are and how, whatever they was, loud, whatever went on there, you have to deal with them. And trust me, brother, they're not dealing with no kids like that on the Upper East Side, like I said, or in Greenpoint, or parts of Long Island. That wouldn't be the reaction because they wouldn't know who kids they were. They wouldn't know their father was a lawyer. And we don't know some of them kids didn't have parents that are lawyers or doctors or engineers, but their assumption is, their first instinct, that these kids come from nothing, and they don't deserve to be treated like human beings. Yeah, they should. Listen, you want to make the argument they should have went to jail? If they have laws have to be obeyed, would that happen? Okay, lock them up. You don't punch them and kick and stomp them. So thank God some cameras was there. It might have been lethal force. But everything is out of the whack down there at the MTA and at just out of the whack. In all where we work, it's out of the whack.
Let me ask you a question.
And again,
yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Do you see when you along your travels? Do you run into cops hiding?
I don't know if I would characterize it as high. I would say they could be better utilized. Yeah, when I every morning I take on a river to Grand Avenue, go to Broadway, Liston Street. For instance, they're all by the station agent at Sufton and Archer. And when they gathered around there, when they're not there, you got people swiping. Now, people who are selling swipes, I would think they take a lot of money from the MTA coffers, and the cops was there. That's just about like watching catching fair raids. You got people swiping, so the cops should be there. It makes no sense to me that people coming from Kennedy Airport on the shuttle, come to Sufton, then getting on the subway into Parsons and Sufton and Archer, going into the city, that they're not police. They're undercover. They're stopping these guys from swiping, trying to, con or beat these tourists, and then trying to swipe customers. That's taking money from train. You would think there was some cops. Yes, I think there's always cops when they're selling weed. Again, Parsons and Archer, when these guys are selling drugs openly, out in the open, you would think there'll be some cops there. There's a lot of ways that the NYPD can be utilized. They're always get clustered somewhere, talking key and that, and they're never on the platform. I think studies have shown if there was a presence there, if there was just a presence there, a police at West 4th Street, 42nd Street, you name it. If there was just a cop, they are not there. Yes, when I see them, there's 50 of them somewhere laughing, yucking it up. Yes, never on the platforms, and they're on the platforms. They're doing that pseudo thing they do. Like all of a sudden, you know what they do? They got the machine guns out and all that, checking us at the position and all that, taking our names, whatever they do. That and that, they in and out.
That's only for stats. It's not for real. It's just so they can meet their quota and say that they did X, Y, and Z and whatever agreement they got with the NYPD or whatever, just to show that they working. And you could tell it's so fake. Every so often they do that they put that production on. But for the most part now, they never where they supposed to be. Never where they supposed to be. Never. So, and that's the problem. And the public knows it. Because you know what? The public is suffering too. You know, if you check the daily events of issues that happens in transit, you will see customer assaulted, employee assaulted, you know, and the first thing you think about is where's these cops? I know where they at. Not all of them, but there's a lot of videos and pictures of police officers sleeping in crew rooms. And I'm quite sure no part of their job entails closing your eyes and taking a nap. Because they are, first of all, they police officers 24/7. That's the oath that they take. Even when they off duty, they police officers. So definitely when they got the uniform on, when they supposed to be listening to radio transmissions, they not supposed to be sleeping. You know, and go ahead.
Like you said, I don't know if you touched on it. I ironed in my uniform. You know, the weekend, the only time we got basically a day to get ready for the weekend. Our whole weekend is about getting ready for Monday to start the week. But I was doing some things like that. But I don't know if you touched on it, because I know we spoke about it, is that the cops generally don't want to they don't want to smell the smells we smell. They don't think removing people from the train. They believe that removing people, hostile passengers off the train, is the purview of customers and train operators. They want no part of that. Now, they don't want no part of that. MTA, give our employees a taser or something. Give our females some mace.
You know, that cops actually told me that, you know, they don't want to deal with the homeless. So if the police who they are there to deal with it, if they don't want to deal with it, then who deals with it? The train crews. And then what happened when we deal with it? We get assaulted. And then we wonder, where's the police?
Yeah, then the union has to fight to keep someone's job because he was either protecting himself or trying to got a dispatcher yelling at him about what's going on here. And then if the train's double-ended and something happened with it, which is very dangerous because anybody can get hurt You leave the passenger on the train, and anybody can get hurt, and anything can happen. So we damned if we do, we damned if we don't. If we try to get the customer off the train, and for lack of a better word, to keep service moving, and God forbid we have to, we can't. What can we do? And at the same time, you got someone threatening us, possibly spitting at one point. You got people out here throwing urine at us, feces. You got mentally ill people down there. Years ago, Pataki closed down all these facilities, made all these cuts. Where are these crazy folks at? They're on the train. And who's dealing with these people on the train? It's not NYPD. Nope. It's not social workers. It's not these homeless advocates. It's our brothers and sisters who's dealing with, gotta, again, be spat on, gotta smell smells that no human being should ever smell, gotta see things like feces, vomit, needle, blood, all these things that we have to deal with. And some of that is the responsibility of NYPD. The trans responsibility to make sure NYPD does their job. And that's 500 police officers. We got 469 stations. We would need a bare minimum. And we had one for every station, one for every tour. That's like 1,500. Where would they be anyway? They would probably still be upstairs with the station agents. They still would be on the platform.
I mean, we've seen pictures recently of 8 cops watching the turnstile. And this goes on all the time. And maybe it's not the police officer's fault. Maybe it's their supervision. Maybe they not being deployed right. There's good, like I said, you got cops who's lazy. You got lazy transit workers. You got lazy people everywhere. There's lazy people. But if you're lazy as a cop, that's dangerous to the people that you're supposed to protect.
No, if they're not pulling their weight, listen, they're not. They're not pulling. This is more of a plea than a critique. The plea is for keep us safe, keep our membership safe. Our sisters abroad, we don't deserve to be spit on. We got enough stress to deal with everything in life. Life is a stress. Getting up in the morning is stressful. Dealing with these evictive dispatchers and superintendents is stressful enough. But to do that, to deal with that, and then you got listeners be thinking about your life, or getting cut, or stabbed, and split. No, brother, nobody's going through that type of stress. And the thing about it, the cops don't feel like that's a stress, or those are situations that they have to deal with. And this is the thing too, bro. At transit, we got TSS's riding in the last cars, putting their foot in the door, trying to listen to our announcements. We got system safety, and I spoke to brother, he gave me permission. We have a vet who recently, 20 years he hired. He can system safety, efficiency testing, take him off the road because they said he was on the 46. He closed down the rear too fast. It's absurd. Nobody got stuck in the doors. Nobody said that he was, but they sitting there with their little stop clock and taking this vet out of service because they saying and okay, if you can allow, you got system safety, you got TSS, you got superintendents riding in us who doing this undercover, whatever they do. But you can strategize like that to make sure we doing our jobs properly, but you can't strategize to make sure that we're safe. You allow all this resources, you put all this thought, all this thinking, all this strategy into making sure we do our job, but you're not doing anything and you're not applying that same logic to make sure that we're safe out there. And I said that before at the board meeting, and this is absurd. And I don't think the TA is holding the NYPD accountable, and I don't think the NYPD care about providing us with the safety or the resources, the manpower to keep our membership safe.
I agree. And you hear people say, the NYPD deal with so much and they got to do this, they got to do that. We got to keep in mind that that's the reason why they got 22 and out in any age. Because
they get mortgages, the cops get a lot, they can pay
A
lower
lot of
interest
perks.
rate.
They get a
stretched
lot of
loans.
perks, a lot of
Yeah, a
privileges,
lot of
right? So
society makes allowances for that dangerous job. They have the power to take a life. They have the power. They are armed. They get, like I said, society makes a lot of allowances for it, and they should. They got a talented job. But brother and sisters in NYP, this is what you signed up for. That's why you can retire at 42. That's why you get the medical benefits that you get. That's why you can live anywhere you want. That's why mortgages and banks give you discounts on your mortgage with closing costs. There's a plethora of things that society has said that this is what our law enforcement, workforce, our agencies are entitled to, and they should be. But that also means you have a job to do. Do it. Do it.
And that's the issue. I mean, no cop was drafted to be an NYPD cop, and they knew the dangers. They knew what they was getting themselves into. That's why I don't feel bad for them not wanting to deal with the homeless. You signed up for this. You know, you signed up to provide a service the same way we signed up to provide a service. But transit workers, we didn't sign up to be assaulted. We didn't sign up to be dehumanized on the job by passengers, management, or the NYPD. You know, we didn't sign up for that. But cops, there's a chance that you may not make it home to your family at night. There's a chance you may get into a shootout. There's a chance that you may just have to remove homeless people off the train, so train crews won't have to deal with it and we get assaulted. And then there's no one there to help us because police officers are not on the platforms where they belong. You know, and these are serious issues to us transit workers. And I know you guys don't want to hear it. You know, let me tell you something. And I know a lot of cops are probably in their feelings right now. I really don't care. And I know a lot of you guys are saying, we go stop giving transit workers courtesies. My morals isn't built off a damn courtesy. I'm a man first. I don't care if you write me a ticket or don't write me a ticket. That doesn't make or break me. If that make or break you and make your day, then more power to you. But me as a man, that don't mean anything to me. Nothing. You write me a million tickets, you're not going to knock me off my square or make me change my mind on how I feel. Now, once again, not all cops are the same. I have plenty of cops that are friends, that I'm friends with and continue to be friends with. But even when I'm talking with them, we have a difference of opinion as far as policing. Like I said in part 1 of this show, you guys go through the academy, and then once you do 6 months in the academy, you guys act like you went through 60 years of life, and civilians don't know anything and police know everything. That's bull. That's bull. You guys, good cops, being silent on when you see bad cops do the wrong thing. That cop who punched the young kid at J Street Metro Tech, he was wrong. Nobody didn't even try to stop him to say, hey, what are you doing? That could have been your brother, your sister, your cousin that he punched in the face. But being that you guys got on the same uniform, you playing their culture, you playing that NYPD culture that don't protect you. You're the same cop of color that's complaining about how you're being treated because you are a person of color in the NYPD. And then y'all come to our communities, police that same culture, and say that there's no racism in the NYPD and we're civilians, we got it wrong, and things like that. Police officers seem more lost than any other agency there is. And I'm not talking about all the cops, because that's the narrative that you guys want to run with. But the cops who feel a way about this video, yes, I'm talking about you. Yeah, bro.
They have, like you said, I agree with you 100%. And in my experience, I don't even think it's, I never thought it was. It's a culture so ingrained, like you saying, brother. I've been beat down by black cops. I had a misspent youth. And black cops stopped. I think it was more hurtful than the blows I was receiving, to get stomped in the head, than to see somebody look at me and not to just didn't say nothing, would walk away or calling me the N word in front of these colleagues, and they sit there idly by, and I find them to be disgusting. And I find anybody who listen, like I said, is right and wrong, and I said it again, and you shouldn't have to say it. We all know. Everybody listen to it. We need cops. There'd be chaos without cops. We need law and order. We need that. We're not saying, listen, some of y'all lied to them cops. They are on the force because they want to do what's right. But they got to understand that there's a wrong, too. And you cannot sit there as right and wrong. You took an oath, you took a vow to protect and serve. And that means everyone. That means everyone. Black, white, Latino, Asian, Indian, everyone. And y'all don't do that. And y'all arbitrarily, y'all bruise community. And y'all allow bad cops to coexist among y'all. And that y'all wrong for that. And you'll always be wrong for that.
That's why,
like you said,
that's why the department is breaking down, because they allowed these bad cops to rule like that, and there's no real transparency. That blue wall of silence is what's going to break down the NYPD, and it's not going to be nothing Pat Lynch or anyone could do about that.
And like you said earlier, you say that it ain't about, you say, snitching. You ask law-abiding citizens to step up and cooperate. And there's nobody I ever met that want drugs and prostitution and certain unacceptable behavior to go on in their community. But when you get to a point where in some of our communities, we scared to call the cops, the police, because we don't know what the consequences of that call might be. It might end up with a dead man or a dead woman simply because you tried to call for some help, reach out for some help. And that's a terrible place to be. That's a terrible where we are now. We can't even call for help because we don't know how things are going to turn out. And that's terrible, man. And that's a horrible existence that a lot of the black folks and Latinos and poor white folks live. It's horrible way to live.
Yeah, and it's bad. But I mean, to only thing we asking for as transit workers is more protection. We want you guys to be out there. We want you guys to be seen. We don't come to work to get beat up. We aren't anyone punching bags. We don't have the authority to arrest people, to tase them, to mace them. We don't have that right. You guys do. And we want you guys to be out there protecting our workforce. It is to be said that a transit worker get assaulted every 36 hours. I think that number is even higher now. How many assaults you attend a week, Drummond?
Well, it's not, to be honest with you, we got at like the instant response, like at RTO in the union, like we service a lot of the members. A lot of times I'm at Livingston Street or I'm at 130. Sometimes I'm actually home. And we got members there, Dom Colt, Afghanistan, that they on the spot. So you ever interview, the brothers that on the overnight, man, they stay moving.
Do they get there? They get there before NYPD?
Oh, always.
So because NYPD.
NYPD.
No, listen, because NYPD, this is their excuse. You got to call over the radio. You got to call control. Then that call is given to the 6-wire, and then it's dispatched. It's the same exact response for the incident control people in RTO, the reps. They get the calls too, the same way the police get the calls. And you telling me that the reps get there faster than police?
A lot of times the reps are like. Oh,
hold on 1 second. I had clicked Drummond off a second. I got to get him back. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Get him back real quick. Press the wrong button. She probably was still talking. Give me 1 second.
Hello?
Yeah, my fault. I pressed the wrong button.
No, what I'm saying is that listen, cops get there. If an incident happened and we're in Brooklyn, but we're on the other side of Brooklyn, something happened in Brooklyn, and we're in the Bronx, or they already en route to the hospital. A lot of times the cops get there before the reps, but sometimes the reps we could get to a TSS is there or somebody MTA personnel is there before the cops. And when the cops get there, they don't make it no priority. First of all, if you spin on someone, it's harassment. I mean, there's some legislation things that need to be done, but yeah, for the most part, the cops will be. Let me amend that. The cops will be there, but if we're in the vicinity, yeah, we'll beat the cops. We're in the vicinity.
Do you think it's an urgency for them to respond?
No. Come on, bro. It's not. The cop told me I believe that they believe that this is part of the rigors of the job. Like this goes with the job. I believe in their heart of hearts. I believe people at transit believe that. I believe some of the people who you address at the board. I'm not saying I don't believe it's biased. I don't believe that. And to be honest, some of the people that run RTO. But I think there's a lot of people that think this is just our job and it's trickled down to the cops. This is just part of the job. I don't think they make no effort to ride around looking once they get the description. They don't make no effort looking for the culprit. I really don't believe that. Because I don't believe that this is trouble. This is, like I said earlier, they don't want to do this. They don't want to deal with the mentally ill. They don't want to touch somebody who might have bed bugs. They don't want to smell it. They don't feel like they don't want to put on no gloves. They don't want to go through the trouble. They don't want to get somebody for assaulting the conductor, a train operator. If they got better things to do. What those better things are, I don't know. I don't think even if you want to give the detectives and the beat cops or the patrolmen the benefit of the doubt. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't think precinct commanders, lieutenants, and captains is a priority for them. And like you said earlier, all that things we go through, all the channels you got to go through to get a cop, control, got to do this and that, all this.
I mean, even if they on the platform, they don't respond to the horn signal because they don't know it.
No, they don't. They don't even know what when I had this. I gave them the food. They didn't know what was going. They didn't know what's going on. They don't know what that shit is. They think it's some what you call what's this on the track? They think it's we doing work on the track. It's some flaggers. We trying to we just coming through trying to hit some flags. Tell some flaggers we coming through. So they don't they don't know because it's not a priority. It's the same thing. Our lives don't mean anything, and they only gonna mean something when one of us is killed.
I don't even think they would care then because we get killed in the hood every day, and
you might be right.
And they killing us too. So this is the culture we talking about now. Do certain individuals would they care? Yes, they would care. But the culture of NYPD and the people who's controlling the culture don't look like you or I.
I agree with you 100%.
You know,
so
and no matter what these individual cops want to do, it's all about the culture, right? But,
I agree with you.
But do you think that these cops will be, because we specifically talking about them, you know, being in our facilities and things of that nature. Do you think that they would be hiding out like that if they was in one police plaza? Do you think they would be hiding out like that if they knew they was held to a certain standard? I think that policing is very lax in the subways. I think that what the surface cops say about the cops in the subways is true. I believe that they have more of a laid back, lazy attitude. This is from them. I ain't making this up.
No, I agree with. Listen, I won't listen. I believe that they not doing the heavy lifting they could be doing. I agree with that calculation 100%. I think they are too. Like you don't even see that look that you see with cops up top. That look of that just look of like, yo, we out here to keep everybody safe and what's going. They don't even have none of that. Yeah, it seems like if you go to they're either by the gates or they're somewhere up top or wherever. But yeah, you're right. There's not that sense of urgency and concern. And I don't know. I can't call it. I don't know. I just think they don't. Like I said, it's almost like the subway's the subway. Like, got graffiti, it got piss, it got rats, it got conductors and train operators, it has bums. That's the subway. That's the way of life. Like, we just a set in the movie, the background in the movie. Like, that's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's how so we do what we do. We come, report, we check on the station agents, we stand by the gates, we walk through the platform sometimes. We stand there a minute, we get on the train for a few stops, we get off, and that's that. Whatever happens in between that, so be it. It happens.
You know, it's so crazy. Like, a police officer tried to put me on blast because of the post I put up yesterday. Someone sent me of the cops. You couldn't even tell who they are. Sleeping in the room or whatever the case is. Or it looked like they were sleeping. But as soon as I alerted my people, because they want to play this game, I heard they was in they group talking about we gonna start giving them tickets and things like that. And as soon as I alerted my people, I got a whole bunch of videos and pictures of police officers sleeping in the locker room, hanging out, chilling, sleeping in the locker room. And if I was doing this maliciously to try to get anyone in trouble, I would have posted those pictures. And I had some prior to people sending me new ones, but I would have posted those pictures and videos to make a point, because you guys try to threaten people, indirectly threaten people, try to target people. Certain people ain't scared of that. And I'm one of those people that's just not afraid of that. And my police officer friends, they know that. They know that I stand for what's right. I will not be targeted. And it goes by the rule. If it don't apply, let it fly. If your bosses see this video, because I think that it's about time that the transit authority, the union, and workers address our concerns about safety in the subway and what do we actually see to what the people think that's going on. You know, people say, oh, transit workers sleep. You right. We do sleep and we get in trouble for it, but not the fact that we get in trouble for it. If we're sleeping, someone getting assaulted is not because we were sleeping or whatever the case was. Somebody getting robbed and a transit worker sleeping, they have nothing to do with each other. But a police officer sleeping or hiding out in the locker rooms or paying attention to whatever, everything else but police work, it's a safety issue that's going on. And then the police that is in the subways, it seemed like they doing more of policing poverty than policing real crime. And that's a major issue.
Well, everybody, just like we are, all our brothers and sisters, and I mean, with extreme prejudice, we are held accountable for our actions. Everybody has the expectation that we're going to move them trains from point A to point B. We're going to pop and lock them doors. We're going to be respectful and courteous and keep our customers safe, which all of us try to do as best we can. And we have the same expectations I got expectations that the sanitation is going to pick up my garbage and put and not make a more of a mess than before. I have expectations. We have the expectations from a lot of the F and the Y that they're going to put out a fire, smoldering fire. They're going to come to my home if I smell gas. We have expectations of a lot of different agencies. And I don't think it's a lot to ask that they put more of an emphasis on our safety. And I don't think that's a scathing. It shouldn't have to be a scathing critique. It shouldn't have to be us condemnation on the NYPD. What you saying is just the facts.
Yeah,
and it don't have to stay this way. They should address what you're saying and say to you, you know what, he has a point, and we got to do better. Instead, they think like in anything. They want to intimidate. I never understood that. I don't understand that. How could you expect the public to be forthcoming and helpful when they see someone, and when the shoes on your foot, when the roles are reversed, you do the complete opposite. You clam up like the criminal.
And then you know what?
Or you try to intimidate.
You know what cops is doing this? This is black cops. This is black cops upset at what was posted. But the same soft black cops, because that's what they are, they don't address the racial discrimination within their own department that they are subject to. That's cowards. And there's too many cowards that put on that police uniform and then try to police with impunity negatively in the communities and try to attack and target people who don't have the same type of power that they have, and fake bullies and imposing. They remind me of some of these supervisors in transit. And I will continue to stand against those type of people who think because they have a certain stature or status that they could treat the people who they feel may be under them differently. I'm not going for that. And they really should watch this video, listen to it, and give it critical thought, and ask me or ask yourselves, what are we really mad at? What is he really saying wrong? They want protection. They want to be treated, and they don't want to get spit on. Maybe if I'm on that platform and someone wants to spit on a transit employee and they see me on that platform, it would deter them for spitting on that transit employee at that time. And I'm not saying that, huh?
No, go ahead.
I'm not saying that, they will stop all crime, but I could guarantee you this: hiding out in locker rooms and crew rooms, you're not going to stop no crime, because there's no crime going on in our locker rooms and crew rooms. That's a fact.
Absolutely no deterrent if you're fighting, if you're trying to bring down assaults or stop assaults and spattings and verbal abuse and what have you. Yeah, you ain't going to deter a damn thing when you upstairs or wherever you at, or in the locker rooms or crew, whatever you at, doing what you're doing, whatever you're doing. I don't know what they're doing. I just know I don't see them. And I know that far too many of our brothers and sisters are getting hurt every day. And yeah, you're right. Some of our supervisors will remind me of them. Same thing when you talk about the SB 100%. The same thing you talk about the black cops down there. And I'm saying this as a black man. I'm saying this as a father who's fearful every day that I might get a call of some cop. Yeah, we got, and don't try to. There's violence in our community. There's violence in every community. Statistically, 2-3% of every community, Asians kill Asians, blacks kill blacks, Indians kill Indians, Russians kill Russians, Latinos. That's just how it is all over the world. So of course, but don't try to make a false equivalency when I say that I'm fearful of a cop killing one of my sons, and you come back and say, well, y'all killing each other in the hood. That ain't your job. Is to catch whoever killed one of us in the hood. Your job ain't to be no sociologist. Your job is to save lives. So don't give me the false equivalency. But it's just like these black cops who got a gun, who feel a sense of power because they got a gun, who their mission in life is almost to impose their will on their own or others. Anybody who they feel they can, because we got black supervisors putting their foot on our white brothers' necks and our Asian brothers' necks because they think they have some power. And I will say it before, and you cops of color, you black cops who impose your will and through intimidation and harassment and self-loathing on your own and others, you're disgusting. And it goes the same thing for the supervisors. And again, same thing. These people who enact petty revenge on their subordinates or their colleagues, you're the same, and you're cowards. You're cowards, and you should be ashamed of yourselves. And I know you can't look in the mirror and face yourself. I know you can. And we have that all over. We have that transit, and unfortunately we have that transit.
Yeah.
And the NYPD suffers, and our community suffer at the same type of abuse and bullying tactics, intimidation from our supervisors and in our communities at the hands of NYPD and NYPD of African descent.
Yeah, and the NYPD, you know, the power that they have is crazy, because once they put those cuffs on you, they could change your life forever. You know, whether you're right or wrong. I'm not telling them not to do their job, but sometimes they overreact. And look at them getting at those protesters in Harlem. You know, the show of force for these protesters who are doing nothing more than hopping the turnstile and getting on the train. And these are kids. They know they dealing with kids, but they not dealing with New Jack City over there at Parsons Archer, where everybody's selling weed and swiping.
Yeah, that bugs me out. Like, yo, these guys are gum on the black community shoe. Despicable. Everybody needs to make $1, but they just despicable. They just despicable, and they are staying on the South Jamaica community, and they're harassing our membership, and they're harassing our ridership. And yeah, though they turn, I don't understand that they turn the blind eye to that. There's no discernment. There's no discretion. There's no judgment. I mean, like you said, all right, like okay, like the force doesn't justify the indiscretion. Like you said, like when they should come down on it, when we want you to come down, you don't. When you need a cop, you can't find one. And then you're messing with the children of hard-working, tax-paying people. And if the kids are wrong, listen, these little bully badasses, they do something, they should, if that's what they call for, they should be dealt with accordingly. But that don't mean beating them up and stomping them out and overcharging them. It don't mean that, because you're right. Just like these supervisors at Trans, I apologize, bro, keep going back with the correlations. But when you write one of our memberships up, you are deterring their career. You are taking away their career from when you write them up because you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, or because you just can't, or your marriage is failing, whatever the reason is, you write them up for conduct unbecoming. You are cutting off our membership's life, career, aspirations at the knees.
It's the same.
So,
it's
like
the same
you said,
police.
They need to think about it. They have people's lives in their hands.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same. Unfortunately, you know, even though I'm totally against that type of culture in New York City Transit, it's not as dangerous as the culture of NYPD.
Oh no, it's not. It's not. I can't help it, bro. I just can't help it. But it's not, because we talking about. You don't come back for some of the things that the NYPD has the power and authority and the resources to come at you with. There's no coming back. Sometimes your life, sometimes your livelihood, but there's no coming back. There's no turning that clock back or resetting, or there's a lot of point of no return situations. That's when correct. It comes to our interactions with the NYPD.
That's correct.
And police force, law enforcement all around this nation.
Correct. And to you know, we got to get off soon because we almost been on this for an hour. But just to be clear, if you check out the media, the crimes in the subway are becoming more and more brazen. Just the other day, someone got beat in the head with a hammer. I posted a video on my last show of someone taking urinating right in front of the train with impunity. Like, nobody's thinking about the police because everyone knows there's no real police presence on those platforms and trains. So you're going to see more and more crimes. Just was it earlier this year we had the conductor stabbed, Jenkins stabbed up. Every day someone's getting spit on, and buses it's the same thing. There's no protection for them either. But the cops in the subways, there's a major issue there. And the vagrancy that happens in New York City transit on the subways is out of this world. I mean, you have the homeless, you have grown men masturbating in front of women and kids. And I remember I had a guy masturbating on my train. A customer came to me and said, "I'm gonna beat this guy up. He's masturbating in front of my child. I'm going to the next car." And he was adamant on trying to beat this guy up. And I said, "No, don't do it. I'm gonna call in and I'm gonna get him removed." It took the police officers about 15 minutes to arrive to 34th Street, Herald Square. 34th Street, Herald Square, 15 minutes to arrive. Control kept asking me, "Police there? Police there?" No police. "Conductor, are you sure?" Wouldn't I know if police was here? They would have came to either my train operator or me to say that they there. What's the issue? Took police 15 minutes to arrive. That's bad.
Bruh, in the late 1990s and the early 2000s, I don't know what the tax was. They emptied out. I knew people that worked for Ward's Island and Creedmoor. They closed down wings. They closed down mental facilities, send these people home. And these people should be in mental facilities, but where they at? Their mental facilities is the New York City subways, the MTA. That's where they at. Like you said, they got these people carrying axes. They carry they got these people are meant to forget the criminal element. We got the criminal element, but we got mentally ill people who went. They didn't go. They was in facilities to begin with. Where did they go? The families couldn't take care of them. They shouldn't. They couldn't put them through the judicial system. So where did they go, bruh? They got on these trains. And it ain't like they got on the trains with their medication. We got psychopaths, schizophrenia. These are the people who's riding at our position. This is we got to walk through these people. And some of these people bit off people's faces and set the houses on, did all type of hideous things under the guise of being mentally ill. Who dealing with them? We know the cops don't want to deal with them. Mm-hmm. We know management ain't coming down putting on no plastic, no gloves. The gloves to deal with them. Who dealing with them?
The cleaners and the train crews.
And they dealing with us.
The cleaners and the train crews. And they know that we don't got no power. And they know that the police is not going to respond to them. They know that there's no real consequence to their actions. Yeah. They smart enough to know that. They know that there's no real consequence to their actions. All right, man. I'm gonna let you finish it up.
It's the worst kept secret in New York about what's going on here.
I agree. And like I said, every time I see get pictures, videos of police officers sleeping in our facilities, I think about all the stuff that's going on, man. Think about all.
Let me ask you one more thing, bro. Before you go, are you gonna do a show when they get on their job? You gonna do a show commending the NYPD?
Of course, I did shows before commending the NYPD. But the attacks is becoming more egregious on us. And, they wanted to be petty and start a fake war with me. I have a platform to address that. And like I said, there's good cops, there's bad cops. But you got good cops covering for bad cops that make it bad for everyone. But to the good cops that's out there that's listening, that know that, he's right. He's not saying anything wrong. We do have coworkers like that. We do care about the transit workers. Maybe the culture doesn't care, but we must do more to protect the civil servants and the passengers that ride this system. So shout out to you guys, man. I ain't played the claps, I don't think, all show. Shout out to you guys. And when we see crime decrease in the subways and we see that not only the assaults go down because their presence and deterrence of them having a uniform would definitely deter crime in the subways for both employees and passengers. When we see those numbers go down, we see real true stats on that. I would salute them, and I salute them now because they do a very difficult job, a very dangerous job. I salute you guys now, but we just want more protection. We want to make it home to our families the same way you guys do. We don't want to get spit on. We don't want any of that. We didn't sign up for that. And, that's all I got to say about that. So thanks for tuning in. And we catch you guys later, man. Yo, Drummond, thanks for calling in, bro.
Thank you, brother. You have a safe night. Everybody have a safe night.
All right. Yeah, thank you. All right. So if you're watching this video, please share out this video. It's a very important topic, and it's about time once again that the workers, we tell our side of the story. We make it clear, because at the end of the day, if we don't tell what's going on, we're going to suffer. And I'm tired of suffering. I'm tired of employees calling me talking about they got smacked, they got spit on, they got urine thrown at them, and where there was no police around, or the police was doing this X, Y, and Z in our rooms and crew facilities and things like that. It's time for us to speak up and speak out and get the protection and the respect that we deserve. So I'll catch y'all later. Peace.